Let's go do a quick exercise by opening up our sidebar and pressing edit. You know what? This is slow. I'm going to show you how to do this with a keyboard shortcut. If I hold down Command, it'll actually bring up some keyboard shortcuts. And if you keep holding down Command, you can scroll through and look for some fun little keyboard shortcuts that will save you seconds of your life. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look for this thing that says Show Sidebar. This caret over here means Control. This squiggly thing over here means Command. And this is S. I don't know why I felt that need to explain that. And what I want to do is there's something over here under File, which is New Page, right? This is Shift Command N, right? So I'm going to save myself tons of time by typing Control Command S followed by Shift Command N to create a new playground page. Let's try that. Right? I'm very excited to try this new thing. So I've forgotten what my keyboard shortcuts were. I think it was Control Command S. That's right. And Shift Command N. Oh, and handily enough, I get to rename it immediately. So exercise 2. Okay. And there you go. All right. So I'm going to put some code on the screen. Here it is. And I'd like you to just put in this code and look for the 2 comments at the end that say to do. Your job is to add in 1 line of code after every comment that says to do to meet what the comment is asking you to do. All right, that should be simple enough. And when you're done, you can come back here and I will explain some of the code as we go along. Once again, if you don't want to type out this code, shame on you. It's so easy. What? Go and type out the code. Or you can go down to the description and we'll give you a link to copy and paste this code. All right. But most importantly, you should probably pause the video right now and come back for the answer. Okay? Do you pause the video? No, you didn't pause the video. That's fine. I'll type out the code. Right, everything. I have to do everything. Okay, so here's a little exercise over here. I'd like you to try it out. I'm not going to type out the comments because the comments were purely for explanation's sake. So I'm just going to say num MacBooks equals to 10. Num iPads equals to 10. And I guess this one's a little bit of a controversy. I'm not sure if the iPads here should be capital I or lowercase I. You go fight it out with someone. I don't care. Right. And just be aware that, I've declared the num MacBooks as 10. I've declared num iPads as 10. They are integers. And now I can manipulate them. And here's a line of code that I didn't explain very much before. So num MacBooks equals num MacBooks minus 1. That is extremely strange. Why would num MacBooks ever equal to num MacBooks minus 1? If you take this all the way to its mathematical extreme, it's 0 equals to 1 and nothing exists. No. What's happening here is that in Swift, just like in other programming languages, the equal sign stands for assignment. You are taking what's on the right-hand side and storing it in the left-hand side. Is this the right? I have no idea because I don't know how this is going to show up when I record it. Never mind. On the right-hand side is num MacBooks minus 1. And what that means is that you take the number 10, you subtract 1 from it, and then you store it into the left-hand side. So if I run my code over here, it should be able to tell me that num MacBooks is now 9. Okay, not surprisingly. The next part is you bought a whole bunch of iPads. So num iPads equals to num iPads times 2. Okay, and that's simple enough. And if you run this, you will see that num iPads is now 20. What's your total now? So var total equals to num MacBooks plus num iPads. Oh, I gotta be careful. I shouldn't put the plus right next to MacBooks. That's actually a very easy mistake to make. Okay, so make sure you leave a space after each variable name before you do any operators. Okay, so if I run this, it's going to give you the total number of devices I have, which is 29. Okay. So what did it ask you to do? I asked you to do. What if someone eats an iPad? Well, first of all, get them to the hospital. But then after that, you have to count the number of iPads you have. You can do num iPads equals to num iPads minus 1. Okay. And if I run this, you should be able to see that it's, as we expect, it is, how many is that? Let's tap on it. 19. All right, so 20 minus 1, that's 19. Finally, Again, I'm not sure why Swift Playgrounds have decided that, this is a great time to add some indentation, but whatever. To do, what is the total now? Okay. So what's actually happening here is that I've changed num iPads and I want to recalculate the total. So total doesn't update itself, even though one of its components has changed. In fact, don't even think of it as one of its components, right? Total just took num MacBooks and num iPads values at that point in time and stored the total value. After this line of code, there is absolutely no relation between total num MacBooks and num iPads. It's just 29 and it's done with it. Okay. So if I really wanted to print the total, I could just do this and check what it is even before I made any changes. So let's just run it one time. And we're going to see this over here and it's 29. As you can see, num iPads is now 19 and 19 plus 9 should in theory be 28. So I actually need to recalculate my total. So total equals to num MacBooks plus num iPads. If I run it now and I tap on this little thing, I can see that it's 28. Okay, so I hope that kind of makes sense. These are all some very basic operators that you can do, and these are ways to manipulate your variables and make changes to them and just work with numbers. You might be asking, what was the point of all this? Why do you have to type all this out? Well, you can also change the numbers up here, right? You can change the 10 over here into 50 and run it, and you can see how it affects all your code. And that's the reason why we use variables. We store the numbers in variables so that we can make changes to them and make decisions based on their values later on. Okay. All right. So that's it for this little section. I'll see you soon in the next bit.